Coffee time, coffee time. Yeah, this ain't your average cup of joe. Listen, I need it in the morning, I need it at night. He always keeps it brewing, he always keeps it tight. Just a little sip, it'll get you right. Terrence Pickett always be the one that gets the coffee right. The coffee's right, the coffee's right in my life. It's never a wrong time over crime to get what's yours and to get what's mine. Come on. Coffee time in my life. Coffee time. Feels so right. I need a little sugar, put it in my cup. Can you stir it, Terrence? Let me know what's up. And at the end of the show, you can brew another pot. Just make sure you make it hot. Come on.
And a happy good morning to all of my kings and queens. Good morning, everybody. How are you all this morning? It's a Saturday morning. I'm doing something that I don't get an opportunity to do, and that is I'm chilling today. I made a decision. I don't care who needs what, who's doing what. Have a pretty big evening later on today, so for the most part, the top of the morning, I'm going to chill. Pick it tight. Star Brown, good morning. You all do me a favor. Invite somebody, share. We're getting ready to talk about Be Real, Be You. Untapped greatness. That's our subject matter for the morning. It's rare that I get an opportunity to do this on a Saturday morning, so I'm grateful for this privilege, this opportunity. And I'm definitely grateful for all of you, because there is no coffee time if there is no you. I'm going to say it again. There's no coffee time if there is no you. Andrea Mitchell, good morning. We are behind the 8 ball on some things, but I am believing God for his best. Andrea, I got a call this morning, and we'll talk today. Tobias Tankard Jr., it's my little nephew. Good morning. You all do me a favor. Invite somebody, share. So I was having a conversation with Train. I think it was myself, Train, and Gene. Yeah, it was all three of us, and Tracy. We were last week sometime. So we were talking about the brain, how the brain is set up, how the mind is set up. And Train he led the conversation, information that he had. I had already studied that information, but it was refreshing hearing it from somebody else. And he just brought out some points that I kind of want to emphasize on this morning. It inspired me to talk about it. I don't know why it was on my mind this morning. So did you not know that your brain does not know what's true and what's not when it comes to what you say and what you do? The brain automatically believes what you put out. So there's no judge inside of your mind that is sitting on the circumference of your cerebrum saying this is true, this is not. If you say it, the brain or the mind believes it. And it causes the rest of your body to align with it. Well, I believe that to be, now that's science. That's science. That ain't Bible. That's science. That's true. Tina White McPherson, good morning. You all invite somebody to share. So if the brain believes what you say, and the brain is the center control system for your body, then whatever you say, you believe, and everything in you falls in harmony with what you believe. Now here's why that's good. Because when you believe and say what God has said about you, it puts you in a position for those things to happen. Here's why it's bad. Because if you are believing a lie, then everything in you aligns itself with that lie, and you believe something that has no foundation, and that's not true. And it hinders you from moving forward to truth because you've been sold to a lie. When you become a slave to a lie, the lie becomes your ruler, and you do things, say things, and make decisions based on the lie. Well, if you're making decisions based on a lie, there will never be any truth in you. So instead of succeeding in the arena or the area where you're supposed to thrive, you will sink. You will sink. And you're going to sink so low, you're going to sink every year. And then one day you're going to wake up and you're going to wonder why you are where you are. And it's only because your lie became your truth. Nathan Cohen, what up, bro? Good to see you. So this is why it's important to walk in truth. It's important to walk in truth. It is imperative. It is of vital importance that you walk in truth, because the truth that you walk in is going to cause your body, your mind, your heart to be in agreement with it. And whatever you're in agreement with, that's what's going to work for you. Jamie Johnson, boy, I got the stars on this morning. Nathan Cohen, Jamie Johnson, what up? Judith Phoenix, good morning. Good morning. So I'm gonna say that again, but I'm gonna say it in a different way. Okay. The brain does not know. My big bro is on, Andre Carlos Cooper. What up, sir? Good to see you. Y'all give him a hand. Come on, clap for him. Clap for the mind of God. I'm gonna say that again. Your mind does not know, then this is science, your mind does not know what's true and what's false based on what you say. So there is no discernment in your mind that governs truth from a lie. There is no man sitting in your mind that says this is true, that's a lie. Now, you know what's true and what's a lie, but your brain does not. So your brain absorbs whatever you say and it becomes your truth. This is how we establish our truth. You can have a truth that's totally in contradiction to reality. But because it's your truth, your brain absorbs it, it believes it, and it calls everything in you to align in harmony with it. Well, that's good when you are believing what God said, but it becomes bad when you are creating something or doing something that is a lie. Now let's talk about the lie. Did you not know that you can build an entire career on social media based on likes, based on comments, and you think you are your likes and your comments? So in your mind, you've become this image, you become this thing, but this thing does not have foundation in you. It does not have root in you. And though you believe it, though you become it, you will never eat fruit from it or success with it because it's not true. Janitra, good morning. Glad you're here. It's not true. And there are a whole lot of people who are winning on social media. Ticket, you better tell the people. I'm trying, Doc. They are winning on social media. They get the likes, they get the loves, but the true test of who you are is in what you produce in the earth. If you have zero production, I don't care what image you built on social media. You're zero. The danger of technology is that technology has postured us into believing that our life is governed by likes. So you have a whole lot of people who are depressed because they don't get likes. You have a whole lot of people who believe they're more than what they are because they have likes. The true test of who you are, the true proof of who you are, is what have you produced in the earth. Let me give you another point. I know a lot of musical artists who do extremely well on social media, and they do extremely well because they are coupled with a train or a brand that was already successful. Let me give you case in point. I remember years ago when me and my brother, Freddie McIntyre, sung with John P.K. All right. We went from singing with Willie Ross, New Youth, to singing with John P.K., which at that time was the highest, I'm going to say the highest level of recognition that you could get because John was killing the charts. He was the number one gospel artist. So we were with John. Watch. In the minds of some, we had made it. To a certain degree, we believe that we had struck gold. We believe we hit the oil. So we'd be with John, then we'd come home. A couple times we did a couple of concerts. We packed the place out, just me and Freddie. Why? Because the idea, the ideology of success in the eyes of those that came was built off of a brand that was already moving. So though we were successful in music in terms of hitting the pinnacle, though we were successful in music in terms Grammy Award winning, Stellar Award winning, you couldn't get no better than John P. Key. We had reached the top in our musical career because we had achieved a measure of greatness. There are millions of people that wanted to sing with this guy, and he chose us. We didn't ask to sing with him. He chose us. We were handpicked. So there was a measure of accomplishment and success that we had achieved at an early age. We come home, do concerts, pack it out. We travel throughout Florida, various places, and people would come see us. But I remember one time we were going to, we did a concert in Gainesville, Florida with David Richardson, and we packed that out. We were doing our thing. We went to Orlando and flopped. Orlando's a bigger market. We flopped. I think about 50, maybe 60 people showed up, and we were in a church that sat about maybe 1,000. Great concert, but only 50 to 60 people showed up. Here's what that did. Though we were big in our community, we were riding off of the success of being with an established brand, but we didn't have any root in the brand because it wasn't ours. It belonged to John. Now, we weren't trying to monetize or even capitalize. We were just being ourselves. But I'm telling you, we were living off of his brand. Now, had he been there, it would have been packed out. But we were there. So many would believe that we were successful, but we were successful in certain areas. True success, if you are an artist, is not how many people coming to see you and John. Not how many people are willing to support you because of John. How many people are coming to see you based on what you built? Now, you could use your resume as an opportunity to use it as a building block to build your brand and give your credentials. Hey, I've been with this. I've been with that. I've been with this person. I've done this. I've done that. These are the accomplishments. These are the things that has established me as a voice, as an artist, as someone you should trust. You can do that. But you cannot. You cannot. You absolutely. You cannot capitalize off somebody else's brand. You have to build your own. So there are a lot of people who believe they're successful because they're riding the coattails of somebody else's brand. And the reality is, as long as you live in this mindset, you'll never step out and do the things that you're supposed to do because you're too mesmerized or you're too taken by somebody else's success. Let me tell you something. You're going to have to build your own. Get the wisdom, get the knowledge, get the understanding of this other brand. Get as much knowledge as you can, as much exposure as you can. But at the end of the day, if you're going to be an established brand, you're going to have to build your own. I'm going to tell you how finicky people are. People are funny acting. They'll support you. Then they'll reach out to you to try and monetize the support they have for you When they can't monetize or capitalize off of it, they will drop you and they will dog you and they will kill whatever image you have. This is why you have to do it the grassroots way. You have got to do the work. You've got to put in time. It's going to be sacrifices. It's going to be heartbreak. It's going to be disappointments, but you got to keep going. There's a law that all of us live on and live by, whether you like it or not, and it is the law of reciprocity. Here's what that law says. Whatever you sow, you're going to reap. So success that is given and not earned doesn't have the strength to withstand the test of time. It's like a chick. It's like a chick. Minister Tanita Stacy, what's up? Good to see you, lady. Joanne, God's chosen vessel, good morning. It's like a chick. When a hen lays an egg and that chick is inside of that shell, the strength of the chick, which determines the longevity of life, is developed as the chick break out of the shell. Again, this is science. If you help the chick break through the shell or make it easy for it to break out of its shell, you shorten its life term because now it does not have the strength for survival. So the worst thing that you can do to a chick is help it out of its shell. That's a lesson I think all of us need. You can help your friends. You can help them. You can cheer them on. You can help market. You can help advertise. But unless they do the work, unless they develop the strength of endurance, they will not last. They won't last. They won't last. As a teenager, you can say, well, pick it what gives you a voice to be able to say, well, I've been succeeding my entire life in something. Oh, yeah. I've got the scars and the stripes to prove it. Every group I was a part of was successful. Everything that I've done has not necessarily been successful in the like of how we view success. But most of the views of success is incorrect. We think being successful means being rich monetarily. We think success is being popular. That's not success. Some of your most successful people are not even known. If success alone abides in the company of riches and money, then there are a whole lot of people that are successful that would never get credit because it's not that alone. Being successful means you are being real and living what you believe, and you're being the best version of yourself that you can. When you operate in this principle of truth and you're being real and you are being you are sowing a seed, a genuine seed of truth, and truth attracts truth. When truth attracts truth, truth begins to grow, and that seed of truth that is growing will be attractive to others that are attracted to the truth. This is why all liars hang together. It's the seed of lie that have been planted in their soul. You ever seen a group of people and you know all of them are fakes? You know they're wannabes. They got on red bottoms, Gucci, Louis Vuitton. They got on all the popular name brand. Prada. They got on all the popular name brands, right? But they just borrowed $30 from you. Or you just helped them get their car out of the pound. That's not true success. They got on all the name brands. They got a nice car. They're living the image of social media. They're able to flash. They're taking pictures in front of their Mercedes and the BMWs, and they're taking a picture in front of a Rolls or a Bentley. They're taking in front of I don't know how y'all, I ain't gonna do that. That might be being messy. Pick it. Don't do that. picket. Will y'all encourage me in righteousness? Because I'm. Listen, I live between two worlds. I live between the world of spiritual and carnal. And sometimes my carnality rise up in the midst of me being picket, in the midst of me being spirit. And this battle is going on like I'm fighting now. I am really fighting because I want to say, they got their infinity. And they're taking pictures in front of the sign. Notice I didn't say Lexus. Okay, I lost. I just lost. Now I told you, don't you say that. Yeah, but it's the truth. Lexus is not. Kia is not. Genesis is not. They're not luxury cars. Care what you say. Lexus is Toyota. A Genesis, I don't care how much you pay for it and how nice it is. It's a Kia. You got a Kia. It's still a Kia. Anyway, they're taking pictures in front of images that they believe make them successful. Let me tell you something about rich people. I learned this a long time ago. They're not blowing their money on name brand stuff. And there are other name brands that are more popular than these, but you'd have to be rich to know it. I've got a watch my cousin bought me. Never heard of it. Matter of fact, let me go get this watch. It's worth the conversation. Y'all stay. Don't. Oh, y'all gonna act like that? Okay, I won't go get it. He bought it for my birthday this year, and the watch, it's a $700-800 watch, right? That he bought. I never heard of these people. And when he gave me the watch, this is what he said. He said, when you go out and you wear this, he said, you have to know it in order to understand it. It's not on the market. It's custom. But the brand is bigger than your highest brand. In fact, this is the brother to the Rolex. Then he starts breaking down the watch and what it does, and it blew my mind because, I've got some watches for you. I got some watches cost a lot of money. Okay, and this watch doesn't look like any of them. Let me tell you why. Rich people are flashy. Wealthy people are silent. Being rich demands attention. Being wealthy is calming. Rich people want to show you what they have. Wealthy people are uninterested in your opinion. Because wealthy people, there's a level of confidence that it's inside of them, because most wealthy people were not necessarily born in wealth. They had to build the wealth. Or even if they were born in wealth, they increase the wealth. So they understand what it takes to be wealthy. So they want to hide from y'all. I know I'm talking right. The loudest person in the room is the weakest. The most flashy person in the room is the smallest. I want you to think about that. The more you show, the less you have. The more you say, the less you are. Because you're spinning your wheels trying to prove. Being wealthy causes you to live in your own lane, and you don't feel you have to prove anything to anybody. Why? Because wealth comes with peace. I Got to take this call. It's the shop. Don't judge me. Yes, ma'am. No, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. Thank you for calling. Uh, all right. Yes, yes, ma'am. I'll walk you through the process when it's time. Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry. My apology. My apology. Wealth is secure. See, you can have a lot of money and have a poor mind. That makes you broke. You can have a lot of money and have an unhealthy heart. That makes you poor. Oh, being wealthy is a state of being. It's when I walk into the room, I'm so comfortable with me. I don't feel the need to impress you because I like me. So I don't exchange my personality or persona to impress you. I don't decrease me to impress you. I don't have to name drop, show off to impress you. Why? Because wealth is a state of being. It's a consciousness. You can't fake that. Boy, look at there. My big bro is on. Y'all give it up for Teron Carter. Everybody say, hey, Teron. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So let me give you, because I'm on this, let me give you a little information about Teron. When we were kids, we were teenagers growing up, Teron, he's one of those men who I believe have a wealthy mind because he walked in his own lane. He was one of the first, I'm not going to say the first, but definitely one of the first persons that I ever saw to create their own brand and live in their own truth. Man, and regardless of what society or the culture around him was doing, he developed his own truth by living his own way. Right, wrong, or indifferent. He loved himself to the point he was true to himself. Yeah. Y'all say, hey, Teron, I'm trying to tell you, I'm introducing y'all to greatness. Neenan! That's our other sister we grew up with. Neenan, I was so caught off guard at your dad going home. You know the love that I have for you and your family. And for whatever reason, I didn't see the services until last night. And I was very disappointed, highly disappointed that I missed them. But I am going to come see you and your mom. I love y'all. That'll never change. And the love that we have is genuine. It's real. And you know that. And that's real. So it's good to see you, Nina. Send your family my love, and I'm gonna make personal contact because y'all my family, and I love y'all. Love your dad. Your dad was one of my I'm gonna say forces of background because people think you become. You don't. You're made. God put stuff in you, but it takes people outside of you to soil you in order for you to grow into you. This is why, technically, there's no such thing as the GOAT, because everything is produced by something. Everything's produced by you are a product of words that have been spoken on your life, prayers that have been prayed. When you didn't even know who you were, somebody was praying for you, somebody was soiling you, somebody was educating you, and that's how you became you, because God gave them something and showed them a vision of you when you didn't even see yourself, and used people around you to grow you, to make you wealthy. I dare you. say you're the GOAT. And Nina and your daddy, I told him at the bank, I said, you know what? My entire life, I've always seen you happy. Thank you for supporting me over the years. When I was singing at New Covenant, he was in my corner, jumping and praising God. That stuff is solid. That is real. That ain't fake. And this is one of the reasons, the culture is at war. Let me tell you why the culture is at war. Because whoever the culture makes, they have the power to break. When the culture makes you, then they break you, then you're sad. Because you built your image off of the crowd. You built your image off likes. You need to know everybody ain't gonna like you. If you did everything right, they're not gonna like you. They're not. You got to be true to you. Get better. Apply wisdom. But be real, be you. Tehran, real talk. Her dad was authentic, genuine. Loved and supported everybody. And people will take the love that you have, the meekness that you have. They'll take the kindness that you show and the warm heart and try and make or take advantage of it. But the real enemy is the enemy in them. So when we talk about being real, be you. You have to know you're not everybody's cup of tea. Embrace it. So what? When I think about Nina's dad, Lish, I think about how energetic his smile was, how sincere his heart was. These are the things that we need to strive to be. We're so fake. Oh, we're fake. Don't let me get on you church people. You think your titles make you. You live and dance and have your being of being called whatever your title is, to the point that you've lost your identity in your title, and whenever your title's not mentioned, you feel like you're being disrespected. But your mama didn't name you bishop. Your mama didn't name you elder. Your mama didn't name you pastor. Should we respect you? By all means. Even the scripture supports that. It says the elders that ruled well, let them be counted with double honor. But you're more than a title. And if someone calls your name and you feel some kind of way because the title's not on it, then I think you need to readjust your seat in identity. Because when you understand who you are, whether they call you by that title or not, it doesn't change what you do because you're true to you. Everybody's a bishop. Everybody's an apostle. Everybody's a prophet. Everybody's a pastor. Everybody's an elder. All on Facebook. I'm telling you, this identity thing goes deep. All on Facebook with pastor this, bishop this, prophet this. But here's what people don't know. When God calls you, let's say God calls you to be a pastor. Did you not know that term is limited to the jurisdiction that you're in? Some places, Paul was known as Saul. It wasn't because God changed his name to Paul. It was by descent. Of Rome descent, he was Saul. When he moved, he became Paul. It was based on the area. You're not called a pastor of the world. There are certain people that God have assigned to you. You're their pastor. But if God has not assigned me to you, I can respect you as being a pastor, but you ain't my pastor, so I shouldn't have to be made to call you pastor. And if you're offended by that, it shows where you are seated in your identity. Whether people call me pastor, elder, Pick, Terrence, Terry, it doesn't change who I am, and it's definitely not going to change what I do, because I didn't build who I am off of a title or a name. It bugs me. It bugs me with the high level of ignorance that we carry when it comes to these titles. The one who was greater than all of us was called by his name, Yeshua the Messiah. They called him Jesus, not Apostle Christ, Apostle Bishop. He had all the gifts. He had all the administrations. Everything was in him. He came to he was every prophet, apostle. He was the gift. And they called him by name. And I understand we have to respect the anointing that is on people. I believe God calls you out to lead, but it's not because of the title. It's because of God's hand, his anointing. It's his decision. He calls who he wants. This is not a democracy. You don't vote on whether somebody's called. But they call Jesus by name. Jesus, thou son of David. They call him by name. They associate him with his parents, with his lineage. And here y'all are offended if they don't put bishop in front of your name. Did you not know bishop, elder, pastor, deacon? Did you not know all those terms are the same? Did you not know one's not bigger or greater than the other? That all of them are equal? Did you not know all of them are synonymous? It's the same thing. We've made heroes and celebrities, and we created the ring. And it has nothing to do with ministry. It doesn't. And don't get me wrong, the Apostle Paul did say, he that desires the office of a bishop desires a great thing. It's biblical. It is. But it's not the pompous ecclesiastical bigots that you all have created. These celebrity titles, and without the title, you feel you're being disrespected. Negro, please. Your mama named you Eddie. Your social security card says Eddie. Your death certificate don't have your title on it. Neither does your birth certificate. The title represents the domain that God's called you to operate in. It's like having a website. You're not the website. The website is a representative of who you are and what you do. Same thing with the title. It's a representative of who you are and what you do. It's not your name. The biggest honor that I could ever be called was the name that God gave me. He called me righteous in spite of my mess, in spite of my tests, in spite of my brokenness and my failures, in spite of my inconsistencies. I'm happy. I'm excited to be a part of the master's plan. So if you don't ever call me by a title, I'm not insulted. If you don't ever call me by a title, I'm not confused. If you don't ever call me by a title, I am not, and neither do I feel disrespected, because he called me righteous. And that's the highest honor. Teron told me, I know you's peanut. Oh my God. I got a buddy of mine that recently, I'm gonna say in the last 2 years, he got consecrated as a bishop. He's a friend. We grew up together. So I called him one day and I said, that's my sister. Hold on a minute. Rashondia, I'm on live. Your timing is terrible. Do you pray before you call me? Does the Lord show you the things that I'm doing? And be careful what you're saying, how you say it, because I have you on speaker with the microphone to the phone.
I already figured you had me on speaker with that grand production of a greeting.
Well, Rashani, I love you, and I think you deserve a grand greeting. You're such a wonderful woman of God.
You know what? Okay, call me back, daughter of God.
That's not what God called me. One of y'all lying. I'll call you
I
back.
call me back.
All right.
Okay.
So, you know, she's my sister, but I'm actually her father in the ministry. I've done way more than a pastor has. Whoo, you talk about travailing in prayer for her. Anyway, you got to be real. Be you. Understand that true wealth is in living the truth that God has set for you. Notice, I didn't say the truth that you set for yourself, because some of you believe that you're more than what you are. This is the type of teaching that we get at Encounter Church. Y'all got to listen. If you ain't busy tomorrow, woo, God is blessing at Encounter Church. If you are not busy, I'm trying to tell you, God's doing amazing things at Encounter Church. Let me see if I got a flyer for Encounter. Oh, look at there. There's one. Look at that. Sunday service. We in person, y'all. Yeah, we are. We do 1 hour services. We meet 600 King Street. God is doing amazing things. We have an awesome time. We have a full service. Praise and worship. We meet and greet each other, hug, take selfies. We do all that. Good teaching and preaching of the word. Altar call. We accept the offering. We go home. We fellowship on our way out. We're not there 2-3 hours. And I'm going to give you this last thing, and I hope I'm not just throwing balls at people. Most people, the reason they stay in church so long is church has become their life, and they don't have a life outside of that. And I'm not saying there are times when the Holy Spirit will take over, and if we yield to him, he'll keep you in there because he's doing something to his people. It's not empty, it's not shallow, it's real, and the fruit, you can judge it by the fruit. Your life is changed. But to be having all them announcements and everybody got to get up and talk about what they did and who they are. Everybody has something to say. The first family got a parade to show you that they daddy in charge and all that foolishness. We don't do that. The church is built of the community and that surrounds it, and the culture of the church should be governed by freedom. Jesus made me free. I don't want to be bound. So we are committed to giving God his house back, letting him have control. That means the less we say, the less we do, the more in charge he is. So we move in harmony to his heart. We worship. I didn't think we were going to be able to teach. Last week or the week before, praise broke out, worship broke out. It was hard to move on. We praised and worship about 40 minutes. It didn't seem like it, but we praised and worship about 40 minutes. We didn't have a lot of time to really get into the word the way I am accustomed. We taught about 15 minutes and had to close the book. But if it's God's house, he should have some say so. Anyway, I just decided to get on this morning. I'm feeling good, as you can tell. If you would like to give to what we do, the Cash App is on the screen, $ sponsor coffee time. If you want to be a part of we're a new ministry. We're growing. We're growing leaps and bounds. God is blessing. He's sending in the people. We'd love to have you. We'd love to love on you. We have our mission is comprised of 3 things, and everything else is a derivative of these 3. It's real simple. We are called to help people find their identity in God, who you are, who God created you to be, and teach you how to break free from the fingerprints that have drowned your soul, have clouded your understanding. Identity. That's what we're called to do. The second thing we are called to do, after we've helped you to discover who God created you to be by breaking free from things that have been placed on you, our next assignment is to help you understand what God has created you to do in terms of your purpose. Now, we had our first women's ministry meeting this past Tuesday, and some of the things that was unlocked in that meeting was absolutely amazing. One of the things that we told them that some of you, because where God is taking you, the Church of Jesus Christ will be your foundation and your support, but you're not going to be able to make it here every Sunday. You know why? Because where God is sending you, it's going to interrupt your church schedule. You'll be able to eat the word. You'll be able to come sometimes, but we are called to finance and help support financially and support what God has called you to do. I know it's unorthodox. I know it's not popular, but everybody ain't supposed to be in church. The church is a hospital. You can't live there. Come on now. So the second thing that we are called to do is help you define what God's created you to do in life. Yeah. Our third mission, the third thing that God has required us to do, he's told us to do. You ready for this? Buy back the block. Meaning, if we're going to buy back the block, we're supposed to own the neighborhood that we serve in. That means the bank's supposed to be ours. The school's supposed to be ours. The community pool we're supposed to own. The houses we're supposed to own. In order to do that, we believe in making our living off of our giving. That means there are three people that God has called us to with our giving. Yeah. The widow, the orphans, and those that are less fortunate than us. Well, how are we going to help them? And we're struggling to pay our own bills. Here's how. When we find out who we are, what we're called to be, we pursue, we go after purpose. And when we go out of what the Father has called us to do by seeking first what he said about us, then all the stuff we needed is going to be added. So where we don't have money, he's going to give us favor. And where we don't have favor, we're going to have that money. They work hand in hand. And we're going to buy it back. You know why? Because you can't really have dominion over nothing if you don't own it. Whoever owns your community makes decisions for your community. What made First Baptist of Jacksonville such a monument in our community is downtown Jacksonville couldn't do anything without their permission because they owned it. So whatever we own, we control. And I believe it's time for us to gain control back and establish God's way of doing things by owning the block. That's what we're called to do as Encounter Church. We'd love to have you be a part of it. Oh, yeah, we're free givers. Oh, yeah, God has blessed us to do amazing things, and the best is yet to come. So when you give to us, just know that your money ain't coming to buy me nothing. God's already blessed me. I got mine. In fact, I give more than I make. I make my living off my giving. So when you give, you're giving towards the work that God and the assignment that he has called us to do in the earth. And that's if you're giving through Coffee Time, Sponsor Coffee Time, or Encounter Church. No matter where your seed goes, they're going to do the same thing. I am appreciative of you. Thank you for joining me this Saturday morning. I love all y'all. Remember, you were born to win, predestined to succeed. There's nothing that can happen to you today that the wisdom on the inside of you is able to handle. You got to calm down, slow down, be quiet, know when to speak, trust God, and let wisdom speak. When wisdom speak, you will always win. Y'all have a great Saturday. I love y'all. Thank you for your support. If you could, so 1,000, 2,000, 150, whatever you can, to $, sponsor Coffee Time. I'm believing, God, that the day is going to come when I make this appeal to help us, that we'll have people giving $100,000, $300,000, $500,000, $1 million to support the work that we're doing in the earth. That's the only way we're going to be able to buy back the block. We have to have your support. I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you for all you do. And always remember to think higher, speak life. I will see you tomorrow, 600 King Street. I need to show you the flyer again. 600 King Street, Jacksonville, Florida. We begin service at 1 o'clock. You see it. We start service at 1 o'clock. We get out at 2. So ain't no laying down, spending the night in our church. We've got things to do. We can't do it if we're trapped into the 4 walls. Hey, Teron, I love you too, bro. Minister Tayita Stacy, love you too. Teron, let's hook up, man. It's been way too long. I need to come to wherever you are. Shoot me. I changed phones, so I lost a lot of my numbers. Shoot me your number again. And the rest of you, I love you. I thank God for you. And all you're getting, get an understanding. Enjoy your day. And I'll see you tomorrow, 1 o'clock at church. Peace.
Coffee time, coffee time. Yeah, this ain't your average cup of joe. Listen, I need it in the morning, I need it at night. He always keeps it brewing, he always keeps it tight. Just a little sip, it'll get you right. Terrence Pickett always be the one that gets the coffee right. The coffee's right, the coffee's right in my life. It's never a wrong time over crime to get what's yours and to get what's mine. Come on. Coffee time in my life. Coffee time feels so right. I need a little sugar, put it in my cup. Can you serve it, Terrence? Let me know what's up. And at the end of the show, you can brew another pot. Just make sure you make it hot. Come on.